So I'm going to start by just presenting who you are. Okay, Michael Fulcher, a successful sales manager at Béton Bolduc, is a guy who seems to feel at ease in front of a packed boardroom or out in the field in jeans and work boot. With a 20-year experience in Ontario, he joined Béton Bolduc 3 years ago and lives now in Trois-Rivières. As we know, the city is mostly French. His partner and true love is French, with a baby who speaks both French and English. Most of his colleagues are also French speaking. Hi, Michael.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, fine, fine. Must have been quite a shock when you arrived 3 years ago, living in such an environment. I understand that you were not supposed to speak or understanding French, isn't it?
I had a minimal understanding of French. I did speak some work-related communication, but it was limited. It was at the end of 2018 when a large percentage of the staff from my former company was let go due to some reorganization and some shareholder adjusting, and I was left living in Quebec with a newborn baby, and now having to explore the prospects of finding a job and restart my career in what would be a very challenging environment, to say the least.
Oh, sure, sure. So, how did you manage the issue? I understand that it was a priority for you and your organization to get much better in French.
Yes, it was actually quite frustrating initially because I have a great reputation that I've developed over 20 years in this industry, and I had virtually every company that I've either competed against or have had associates with reach out to me almost immediately. The prospects of finding a job seemed very good, but all of them connected me to living in Ottawa, working in a mostly English speaking environment. And the minute they heard I was living in the province of Quebec, knowing my limited background, the calls stopped, the follow up stopped.
Mhm.
Um, for me, it was a priority to improve my French, knowing that in spite of my experience, not being able to speak the language at a very strong level was going to dramatically impact my opportunities and potentially even my ability to find a job, especially at my age. I'm not old by any means, but at 50 years old and not being able to speak the language of the province I now live in, those are two significant challenges.
Hmm. So, can you describe what is your experience with Doyles Academy?
Well, Doyle Academy was and continues to be an amazing experience. At the end of the day, I did seek out some language improvements when I lost my job and knew I was going to be it was going to be a struggle to find work without the language skills. I enrolled in the University of Trois-Rivières, started taking courses, and that was around the time that, once again, through associations, the Tomball Duke found me. For the first 3 years in general, other than what we would call traditional immersion, which was living in the province and speaking the language primarily, I did not take any further courses, and the university courses were very frustrating. They were the typical practice, conjugate, memorize, rinse, repeat type of course curriculum. Certainly that's the way you learn any language, but at an advanced age and with somewhat of a limited timeline and working full time, it was very difficult to improve. Doyle Academy has been a great opportunity for me to continue to work, but also to be introduced to a different way of learning French. The different techniques and the different ways in which I can be challenged were great for me initially. The most important thing, in my opinion, working with the Doyle Academy was I regained a confidence and lost the frustration that really was a major roadblock in me being able to improve and be able to speak and understand the language at a level that certainly is necessary in my work and in my personal life.
So would you have an example of such a way of working at Doyles?
A lot of it is it's different types of exercises and technique. There is the, call it, conventional work through what would be curriculum and exercises in a conceptual textbook, but there's a lot more general conversation. There's a lot more real-time correction and support by an instructor in a one-on-one atmosphere, which really makes a difference to me. And I found that the instructors in general had a great deal of empathy and understanding. When I started to attend the university, and I make this example, there was 21 people in the classroom, and the first day with one of the professors, they asked a very simple question. Where do you plan on being? Where are you going? And most of the students were different nationalities that were coming to the immersive program to then go home and have a second language to fall back on to aid in their career development. A couple from Ontario, many from China. There was a few from different other countries. Professor supported them and said, "Congratulations, this is wonderful. You're going to take these courses and you're going to be able to speak the language. You'll have the capabilities to speak and understand the language moving forward." When they got to me and I explained, I live in the province of Quebec, I'm looking for a career in the province of Quebec, having lost my job, and I need to develop the language quite quickly, the professor looked at me, smiled, and said, "Good luck with that." That to this day has stuck with me, that I'm going to a place to try to improve and to try to build a confidence to be able to do something new and challenging. And I was almost told, "Are you crazy? This is not going to happen." There was never that.
It's not a big incentive, indeed.
No, and there was never that with the Doyle Academy. They really understand that learning a new language can be very very scary, very frustrating at times, but they immediately work to eliminate that frustration. Simple things like visualization, which I'm a very sports-driven individual. I have sports and activity and the desire to win and succeed in my background in everything I do. The idea of using visualization to improve my language skills and to think about the positive on where I want to be, I really like that. It helped me. The idea of focusing on a French language and not only learning the general conjugations and what goes along with a language, but slowly improving the vocabulary and being able to go back to those words to really bring them to more of a concrete position and concrete part of my improvements was really wonderful, the way the program has worked.
It's very interesting. Yes, I agree. Visualization is very important as a mean of getting used to speaking another or learning about another language. Indeed.